she's a bit wet.
It's the tale of a tropical cyclone, like the one that blew the Croc here in the first place. After weeks of tracking him to this spot, the entire rescue mission is threatened by another cyclone. And to make things worse, Toby's been struck by illness.
How'd you be? An insect, barely being that big, can be such an incredibly bad killer. Malaria. And these islands are rife with it. So, Toby's got it. We've had to send him home.
Whoever thought one little mosquito bite could end up so serious for a guy who doesn't balk at wrestling the biggest, toughest crocodiles you can find? The death toll from malaria has been huge right through the tropics, but with proper medical care, we can now treat and cure its victims. For Toby, it's a simple matter of time to recover, but back in Vanuatu, we're down a man. Now there's just two guys, Brino and Steve, to handle one big gnarly croc.
Well, while setting traps in Vanuatu, I actually contracted malaria, and I tell you what, I've never felt so sick in my entire life. I got really sore joints. I just didn't feel like moving. I got very fatigued. I don't think I ate for about 3 or 4 days. I went yellow. My skin and my eyes went all yellow, and I've never felt anything like it. But thank goodness I'm coming good now. I'm probably back to 100%, and I'm getting stuck in it and back into my Crocs.
We're on. How's this? Have a look at that. The door's gone down, and there's something about like that much of a Croc just sitting there. Looks like a fair whack of a head, eh, Brino?
Yeah, you're not right.
We're on, mate. We're on. Well, what we're going to have to do is go out, just assess the situation, put the goggles on, check it all out, and then I'm not too keen to take it up there because I'm going to have to drag him out, which means all those big rocks, he's going to hit them, break his teeth. We'll probably bring him down to here, and this is where we'll try and get him out of the trap. One thing's for sure, there's going to be one heck of a crowd in about 10 minutes.
The islanders have prayed for this moment for years. At last, there's an end in sight to the fear that's affected their lives.
I tell you what, he's a sneaky Croc. He's seen a bit of action. It's going to be interesting to see when we first go up on him and see if he has been shot like the rumours say. Let's hope not, but I don't know, he's very wary of us. Taken a long time to track this Croc down. How's the crowd? The whole island's here. First thing we've got to do is check out the condition of the Croc and the trap. We got to know if the trap's all secure and the Croc isn't busting himself up. The last thing I want to do is cause the crocodile any more stress than the capture. Have a go at the size of his head and those jaws. We got to check him over completely for injuries, from the tip of his nose to the end of his tail, before we pull him up on the beach. His feet and claws look great, but when I get to the other side of his head, I can see a shocking injury. I'll need to see him out of the water. Doesn't look good. Because of the cyclonic weather, we've had to anchor the trap from every direction to hold it firm. But I'm ready to cut him and pull him to the beach. By now, the word spread like wildfire across the entire island that we've caught the crocodile. The local people live a traditional, simple life, but much of what they do relies heavily on the water. And at last, they're going to be able to swim, fish and travel by water, and their kids are going to be safe on the beach again. Crikey, he hates coming out of the water. Have a go at the power. Thankfully, the trap's strong enough and it's not going to hurt him. There's that busted eye. It looks bad. I'm going to use a bamboo pole to top your rope. Excuse me? That bank there, no one closer.
Please step back. Every so many, step back, push back.
Most of the locals don't even need a safety warning. They're terrified by this creature. To them, it's a monster that's kept them out of the water for years. Righto, there's one top jaw rope. That's not going to be enough. I've got to go for two. Crikey, have a go at those teeth. What a great set of chompers. I want another rope around the top jaw for absolute safety. This bloke might be able to shake loose from one rope. I'm going to need backup. This Croc's power. He's got stacks on it. We're going to have to rely heavily on the terrified villagers. Put a little bit of weight on that one. Back this one off. Okay, now take a little bit of weight. The trees are too far up the beach to tie off, so I'm going to use the villagers to help. That might also help them overcome their fear by being a part of the capture. Woo, he's a tough Croc. And the waves are making it hard. This big bloke's going ballistic. Steady, steady. Okay, pull. Here's another one. Take this one. Here. Just keep the weight on those ropes and don't let go. This'll stop him launching himself forward. One. Yep. Rope up there, Brian. Go for it. On the bag. Sit on the bag with the green stuff. The jaw pressure from one bite will just bust you wide open. Their jaws are like big pieces of steel coming together. So, what you can see here is quite a process. Trying to get these well and truly secured because here's where the money's at. We got to get this thing on a plane. So both top and bottom jaws have to be shut. I'm hoping that in all that struggling he did, that he expelled all of the energy and regurgitated anything that may have been in his guts. Here he goes!
Big crocs have short bursts of intense energy. Then they drop off and build up for another go.
Cool. He's fit. Very fit, extremely fit, which is great. But as soon as we get him secured, we'll have a look at this eye. His eyes, he's lost it. It's all over, Red Rover. There's a bullet gone straight through by the look of it. But the eye's already dead, which means cuts down the amount of surgery that I'll have to do on the poor blighter.
Every croc we encounter is measured for research.
On his head, Brian. I'll call out some measurements to you, mate.
Perfect opportunity for a quick, practical joke.
Okay, lift your ass up, buddy. Oh! That's not funny.
And there it is, another burst of energy.
Scoot that up.
At 12 feet long, he's still not full size, but he's enough of a steamer to demand our utmost respect.
36. 3.6. 1720.
All this information is part of worldwide research to ensure the future survival of a magnificent species.
Okay, let up. I'm thinking he's a bloke, but I've got to make sure. He's going to hate this. Male. Male.
Normally, we'd use a croc box to transport him over any distance, but out here on this remote island, we're going to have to tarp him up securely for the big move.
Okay, you're going to have to jump off. Let it go. You're going to have to let it go.
Look how fat he is. He's been getting plenty of good food. There's heaps of fish, plus the local dogs and pigs. And the villagers say there used to be dugongs off the beach, and they've disappeared too since this guy turned up.
We're really going to have to think about getting him into shape. Let me show off a bit.